We had Robert Meacham, then we had Robert De Niro, now we got Javier Bardem. It's like Jeepers Creepers. Every 30 years or so, Max Cady has to return and make our skin crawl.
I wish you had more time.
Apple TV's Cape Fear is a series produced by Martin Scorsese, so it's more of a remake of his 1991 film than it is a new adaptation of the book. And you can tell immediately because the show and the movie both use that negative effect filter that was in the 91 film, and they use it here, and it's a choice. The basic premise of the story revolves around a violent criminal, Max Cady, who gets out of prison and is hyper focused on getting his revenge on the lawyer who he feels is responsible for him going away in the first place. And what makes Cape Fear as a property an interesting and compelling story is that Katie's revenge is never just to kill the lawyer. Like, he wants the lawyer to feel the same sense of loss that he felt by going inside. He's just this presence that seems to be always there, and it's incredibly intimidating for the family, but legally he hasn't done anything wrong or hasn't been proven to do anything wrong. So you just have this dread and anticipation of the violence and aggression that you know is coming. And so then it drives this lawyer, this champion of justice, to go outside the law in order to protect themselves and their family. The 1962 film Max Cady is kind of a charismatic figure.
I'm going to give you just 1 hour to get rid of your friends.
Are you trying to pick me up?
Yes.
And he does just enough to make the lawyer, Sam Cady, go crazy. In 1991, the Scorsese movie, it's much darker. Because in both versions, Max Cady is a sexual predator, but Robert De Niro's version takes it up several notches, especially in how he pursues and torments the daughter. And surprisingly, that's the element that seems like the biggest departure with this Apple TV series, because the Max Cady we get introduced to has no hint of a sexual deviancy about him. We don't get any mention or allusions to that. He's just violent and accused of murdering his wife. But this time in the series, we have Amy Adams and Patrick Wilson as the Bowdens, and they're both lawyers. And they have not one, but 2 teenage kids. And so those are a few changes, but it still keeps this picturesque, idyllic Southern American family portrait that is important to the story. The first episode is doing what pilots do as far as like setting the board and telling us where all the chess pieces are. Tom was a prosecutor that went to the private sector, and Anna runs a foundation that's basically the Innocence Project, where they help free wrongfully convicted people. And it's funny how one property through all the decades can be a really good commentary on how our economy has changed and how it's changed family life. Because in every version, the Bowdens are always an affluent family unit. That's kind of the point of this story. But in the 1962 version, he's a regular lawyer and the wife is a housewife, and he just supports all of this off of his back. Makes sense. In the 1991 version, he's still a lawyer. The wife works. Now, she works as an artist, so she's still at home working out of her studio, but it's a 2-income household. And now in 2026, not only are both parents working, but both parents have had a whole career and then now transitioned into a second career. It's just crazy that you can see how much things changed in American life just by retelling one story. But this family is picturesque on the outside, so of course everybody's got issues on the inside. Tom seems like he's dealing with substance abuse and maybe having an affair. I hope not. Just because that's kind of tired as far as secrets go. And that's one thing I liked about the 1962 version, is that the husband and wife were very much a team and they were dealing with this outside threat together. But the Martin Scorsese version started implementing like this division within the marriage with this past infidelity and maybe present infidelity. And it was an added element that I don't think was needed. and it seems like we're going to put it in here too, and I just rather not. I just wish we could find another way to introduce conflict in a marriage than cheating. The son seems like he might be having some mental health issues. Like they allude to something happening before the show starts, and they're still reeling from the aftermath with the son. I don't know if he's having an episode, if he's like he needs psychiatric or mental help, or if there was just some like traumatic thing that happened to where they had to readjust. But something happened and the son is still dealing with it. And the sister seems to be the well adjusted one, which usually means she's the overlooked one. So, like, she's the perfect child, the one nobody has to worry about. So now, since the brother seems like he requires so much attention, she might end up feeling left out. And seeing how this episode ended, that feeling probably is going to get worse. We find out that Anna was with somebody prior to Tom, got pregnant, that relationship ended, and she got with Tom like right as the Max Cady case was ending, which was a case where they were on opposite sides of. So from the outside looking in, as far as the public knows, right after she convinced Max Cady to take a plea deal and plead guilty, she got married to the person prosecuting that man. Nah, not a good look. Not a good look at all. Right from the beginning, we start establishing the tension and unease with this family of skunks that's found dead in the pool, and the alarms are malfunctioning, and then the guest of honors for Anna's fundraising event goes missing. And just one more comparison to the previous versions. In both the movies, we meet Max Cady right in the beginning. He shows up and then weird stuff starts happening. So when the weird starts weirding, the family immediately associates it with him. But in the show, the weird stuff starts happening before they even know that he's out of prison. So it just has this bad omen after bad omen, and they parallel it with this coming storm theme. And it just feels like this dread and foreboding over the family. And then he shows up, and boy, when he shows up, Javier Bardem is haunting on screen, which makes sense because he's essentially haunting this family. He's got the menacing aspect of this character down pat, but I'm curious as to how charismatic he'll turn out to be. We get a glimpse of it when he's talking to the crowd, but when we see the glass breaking, him falling off the bench, talking about his eyesight is lost and the plate in his head and his hearing lost, it seems like he's selling a more like harmless teddy bear vibe than this charismatic guy we've seen in other versions. In the beginning of the episode, the son went missing, and by the end, he's returned, but not all of them, because he's missing a toe. When it's revealed that he's been mutilated, everything that's happened in this show now falls into place. And all of this stuff that was just weird before now has new context for Anna, and she immediately knows he did that. The family's in for a terrible time. And the way that we can terrorize people in 2026 with technology and everybody being monitored and phones and all this type of stuff, I can't wait to see how Max Cady terrorizes this family. What did you think of the first episode of Cape Fear? Are you hooked yet? And do you think they can expand this story to more than one season, or should they just keep it one and done, one season, and finish the story here? Let me know. We'll get into it in the comics, and I'll see you guys next week. In West Philadelphia, born and raised on the playgrounds where I spent most of my days, chilling out, maxing, relaxing, all cool, now shooting some b-ball outside the school when a couple of guys, they were up to no good, started making trouble in my neighborhood. I got in one little fight, and my mom got scared. She said, "You move with the auntie and uncle in Bel Air." I begged and pleaded with her day after day, but she packed my suitcase and sent me on my way. She gave me a kiss, and then she gave me my ticket. I put my headphones on, said I might as well kick it. First class, yo, this is bad. Drinking orange juice out of a champagne glass? Is this what the people of Bel Air living like? That might be alright. But wait, I hear that prissy, bourgeois and all that. Is this the type of place you want to send this cool cat? No, we'll see when I get there. I hope they prepare for the Prince of Bel Air. Well, my plane landed, and when I came out, there was a dude like a cop standing there with my name out. I ain't trying to get arrested yet. I just got here. I sprang with the quickness of lightning disappeared. I whistled for a cab, and when it came near, the license plate said fresh and had dice in the mirror. If anything, I could say that this cab was red, but I thought, nah, forget it. Your home's to Bel Air. I Pulled up to the house about 7 already, and I said to your home's made later. Look at my kingdom, I was finally there. Can sit on my throne as the Prince of Bel-Air.